see, get my chat up. It always takes forever for the notification to come through on me. But the heaviest rain probably be here in a little bit. It's been going in and out, but it's not raining super hard right now, so hopefully the noise won't be too bad, and we'll just see how it goes. So that's why I'm doing it a little bit earlier. I never know why it's so hard for them to send me the live stuff. So I don't have the chat up yet. So if you're in here, it'll be a minute. For some reason, it takes forever for it to allow me to go into it. Make sure we are live, I guess. Says we are, 21 of you in there. Somebody go and comment on the live so that it'll give me a notification, like a comment on the comment, like underneath the video if you can. Because for some reason, like, it never shows up on my iPad. And I got to find, so I can get to the chat, I got to find me a box to put my iPad on real fast too. Get it up a little higher. Actually, I know what it is. I've got the do not disturb on. I'm not going to get a notification. Let me turn that off. So irritating. It's like, why, how they have all this stuff, and as the person who's running the live, you can't get into the live. But if somebody will go comment, it will give me a notification or comment, and then I can click on the video. Man, hopefully you guys are hearing me, I guess. Still can't get into it, guys, so I can't chat with you if I can't get in it. There we go. Miss Maintenance just texted it to me. So it's so silly that you can't go into your own video. All right. Sarush in here. Abraham's in here. See if I can get this tilted up a little. What's up, Clint Cole, Steve Jensen? Yeah, right now it's just slightly raining. Y'all probably won't be able to hear it right now, but it's been crazy. Like, and it might rain hard for 5 minutes and then quit for 2 minutes, rain hard for 15. It's been doing it all day long. What's up, Steve Knott? What's up, Matt HMM, Abraham Perez, Wacky Wayland, Terry Burton, Roy Phipps, Rob Holland. Let's see who else in here. Chris is in here. Once you go premium, you'll never go back as a business expense. Well, it's like whenever I go live, like I've got a section in my YouTube studio where I can see all my videos, all my shorts, all my lives, but they don't put the live in there till after, like, we're done. I turn it off, but then I can't go into it from here to open it up to be able to get to this, to be able to chat. So, and it won't let me search it and find it. It's always a big pain. So normally whenever I schedule it, I've got time to send myself a link to it so I can just come in here and open it like a text message. But Matt just sent me a link to my own video. So now I'm going to turn on the do not disturb. Miss Maintenance ended up sending it to me. I got premium. I hate the ads. Maybe one of these days I'll have the big bucks like you guys. Get that premium. Get that premium and a transit van whenever I got that Rob Holland money. What's up, Sharoos? Matt said he uses ad blockers. Yeah, last night it started storming real bad. We had tornado warnings all night long. I don't know of any that actually like touched down like in my area. There was a lot of like some wind damage and stuff. One of the places that I was working at today had a huge tree, blown over, but it's mostly just been a lot of rain. Our power went out last night for about 4 or 5 hours and then came back on, and the internet was down until a little bit going on in today. So I didn't know if today I was going to be able to do a live because of either the horrible rain sound or because I didn't know if my internet was going to be back up either. So I did get the Guest of Trade filmed yesterday. I only had a little bit of time, and I told Miss Maintenance, I said, I better get out there and film that because I know it's going to be raining probably I think it's supposed to rain all the way through Sunday, every day. So I drive a transit van, but it's not my van, Wacky said. So I've been getting my stuff together over here that I'm going to be putting in my truck if the rain either doesn't quit, and hopefully it'll quit some point tonight where I can come out here and throw the stuff in the back of my truck, which I could be doing it right now, but I'm talking to you guys. So, or I'll do it in the morning, like while it's raining, I'll just throw it in there real fast. I've got a job tomorrow that I'm starting that, I'm meeting a plumber at the place. He's roughing in a sink, and then I got to put the cabinet in and countertop sink and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm also demoing out a little small hallway bathroom and refreshing it is what I would call it. It's going to be new vanity, new toilet, new baseboard. I got to patch a couple tiles on the floor and then paint and, that kind of stuff. So I got my stuff out here. I'm going to try out I think I had this in a tool haul video at some point in time. I don't remember. The toilet transporter. It's basically just a big bag lined with plastic, but you're supposed to be able to put the toilet in there and then carry it out. It's got a strap that you can strap over your shoulder. I bought it just so I can put anytime I work on plumbing in somebody's house. Like if I take out something, I throw it in here and carry it out of the house so you don't drip water all over their floors and all that stuff. So I'm going to take that tomorrow. Hole saws, stuff like that. I bought this. I don't know if y'all have seen this before. I normally just use the little, your plugs for 3-inch and 4-inch that you put in for like test plugs and stuff like that. But Odie sells a flange cover kit that is reusable. And this basically the reason why I got this is because, if you're in there working for a while and you're working around it, and then you step on the thing and you get wax on your shoe, and then you walk out somewhere, if you don't like clean it, like all get out, before you get done. And so this will cover up the whole entire flange, and it's got this to seal off the smell. And again, to me, that's going to look more professional since it's going to be in there for a few days than, a rag shoved down inside of there. And sometimes stuff happens with that rag. So I'm going to try that out too. I've never used it before, but I saw it and I decided I'd buy one. Have you gotten a Vito ordered yet? They came in stock at many sites. Those bags are what like tarp bags are for, LOL. Looks like a blank electrical plate. Yeah, it's kind of what it's just a bigger version. Come on, you're not going to do your plastic bag of shame. I'm waiting. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the MCTP first and see how big it is, because I might end up getting both the MCTP and the MCP, but I'm going to get the MCTP first and see if I think it's too big. Like if I think that's bigger than what my way too big compared to the MCT because the pouches and stuff, then I know I'm going to think the MCP is going to be too big. So I might end up getting both of them. But I know for sure I want the MCTP anyways. Even if I bought the MCP, I think I'm going to want the MCTP because I've always said that bag right there, if I had pouches on it, would be like the perfect bag, the little side pouches. So I'm going to get that anyways. What's up, TPG? Removing a mirror above a double vanity. It's about 7 to 8 foot long, scanny. So the kind that's like glued to the wall, or maybe has a few of those little screws with the little flowers or whatever on them. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people take tape and go all over them, to try to keep them together, at least when they break. Yeah, it's very rare you get those off without breaking them, just because they glue the fire out of them a lot of times. Yeah, glued. I've seen people take tape. They probably sell stuff now. I haven't done one of those in a long time, but they sell so much sticky stuff now that's even in wider rolls and stuff. If you could just get something to get on there so that when it breaks, it doesn't, a million pieces fall all over the place. Or you just cut out the drywall around it, pull the whole thing off, put drywall back in. Grace, Vicor, 6-inch flashing tape would work. I tell you, zip tape sticks to everything. Like zip tape is pretty amazing stuff. Which Vito bag did you get, Morgan? I still haven't ordered one yet. I'm gonna order the MCTP first. I've been back. If Vito would have had them in stock from the get-go, I would have ordered the MCP because in my mind I was already set that way. But then I started seeing some pictures of an MC tech pack next to the MCTP because some people had got those. And I was seeing the size difference, and that's the Tech MC even without those pouches on the side. So I was like, man, I don't know. It might be. So the MCTP is going to be bigger than my MCT as it is. So I'm going to get it first and then compare it to that. And then no matter what, I'm going to keep that MCTP anyways because I think it's going to be fine. I think I'm going to like it better for a couple reasons over this. But, and then I'm just going to, if I decide I want to order the MCP, I'm going to order that then. Starting to come down a little bit more, which last time I ran this with the noise canceling thing on there, it had to be raining pretty hard. And I don't remember who it was that said it sounds like some armadillos in a trash can doing something. I don't remember what it was. Cut the wall out. If it was my house, like if it's at your house, in all honesty, and you're going back with like single mirrors or something like that, to get all that glue and stuff off the drywall and stuff anyways, I mean, I ain't kidding you. I'd probably take an oscillating tool, go around the whole mirror with cut the drywall out, and I'd put a new piece in there and patch it because it's going to be easier to probably patch that than it is to go over top and skim all that glue and all that kind of stuff. But if it was at a customer's house and times of the essence and all that, because that's going to take maybe more coats of mud than what it would if you skim over stuff. And plus, it just depends on, you never know what kind of damage you're going to do until you take it off anyways. You might end up wishing that you cut it out and replaced it instead of skimming it anyways. Could Pat Kelsey be the next Denny Crum? Yeah, I don't know. My house replacing with 2 frame mirrors. Good idea with cutting it down. So Chris is in here. I've got a couple things that some people sent me. Chris ended up sending me, and I took it off of my phone so I'd be able to show you all. So this is my thank you live to them. So he sent me a Pelican, rain's starting to come a little bit, Pelican MagSafe case for my phone. But then he was even nice enough to send me a video about how he uses MagSafe, and he had a little tripod that he stuck his camera on. And I knew that my phone did that. I've got a few things that I've even used the magnet for, but I've never really looked into all the accessories and stuff for it. And I ended up, after he sent me this, I started looking for tripod attachments because I saw the video where he sent me a tripod. So right now my phone is on a MagSafe tripod adapter, and I can't tell you how much easier that is to just stick my phone on there than it is to try to stick it in there, clamp the little ends around my phone, all that kind of stuff. So that was super easy. And then I ended up getting one of these and got it sitting on my nightstand to charge my phone. I was already using a wireless charger, but I didn't have one that was like magnetic like this. This charges your watch and everything too. But the cool thing about this was, and he showed me a picture, you turn your phone sideways and you've got a clock. So I really like that. I've also got me a new tripod mount, or a new mount in my truck. You know, whenever I was having the issue on, I think it was the leaning mailbox, where my phone, after it was over, my phone kept moving on me. So I bought a MagSafe clamp thing, and I've got it in my truck, and it's night and day better for putting my phone on it. So want to thank him for that. So he sent me that phone case. He also sent me some Weehaw stickers, which is always awesome. I love Weehaw stickers, and a Weehaw hat. So appreciate him sending that. He's in here. Chris is in here. So thank you, Chris, for sending those. Then I don't think I've seen Mac Bergson in here yet. But he sent me, he said he ordered, he accidentally ordered 2 of these from Zorro, and he said it was a big ordeal to send them back. So this is the Klein SDS mod box set. So I've already got the Klein SDS screwdriver. Mine didn't come with all these chisels or the mod box, but he said he wanted to go ahead and just send me the extra one instead of returning it. So he sent me that. I'll get this opened up in a minute. But the big thing that he sent me was he did send me a Wera Joker. So I do finally have one of those to try out. This is the 3/4 to 15/16. So it's the 6004 XL. Also 19 to 24 millimeter. And I tell you, it is pretty nice. And I can see definitely, I think if you're a plumber out there, for sure, I can see this being something that would be pretty handy, because again, you just basically put your thumb on there and open it to get it on whatever, and then as you turn that, it will basically sit there and slide around there by itself. I like this better than the pipe vise thing the pipe vise Amigo or whatever it is. I like the way this works better. Of course, it doesn't have teeth or anything like that, so it depends on what you're going to use it on. But yeah, I can definitely see, and I'm thinking for shut-off valves, if this fits on there right, I think this will end up being the wrench of choice for me on compression shut-off valves. So I'm looking forward to getting to use this. I haven't used it yet. I just got it. But want to thank Mac for sending that. I don't think I've seen his name pop up in here yet, so. Yeah, the phone wouldn't stay in place. It kept leaning. I know that mailbox was actually straight. It was my phone that was sideways. Not loud now. It's coming down a little bit more right now, but it's still not as loud. Like, sometimes it's been coming down crazy. Plumbing's in here. I just watched Plumbing's video on his clamp light. I watched it on my TV. Yeah, Plumbing, I think, to me, that's what these are made for, or you guys. Like, definitely for certain things, I can see this being awesome. They have I totally get, well, this one's got some sort of a material right there that's not the metal, but I don't know. I guess it's probably plastic. It's very hard. It's kind of squishy. I mean, not squishy. It's a hard plastic if it's plastic. I have the set for a reason. What's up, Todd Turner? Contreras. Anything with the flats, it's awesome. Yeah, I think for sure this is probably going to end up being my compression shutoff valve wrench. I'll put the one stop, I'll probably twist that on or put it down inside of the top part of the shutoff valve, and then use this. I'm gonna get my knife and open up this mod box set here in a little bit, probably. Yeah, but I've had them sitting here waiting for a video. I've had Chris's for a little while, and then I got Max this week. The VDE one is plastic in the handle and pushes it up way easier to just use a pen. Don't have to touch the head. Oh, I got you. I guess that makes sense on that kind of a plier, so that you're not having to get close to the work. Would work great for plastic fuse holders, just enough tension to release it, but not too much to crack the plastic. Once you get used to their operation, the jokers are great. Yeah, it works. Like I said, I've ever only seen it in videos, and it's pretty obvious to me how it would have worked by watching other people use it. But it's one of those things where, you know, instead of not having it, because I was kind of the same way with the pipe vise. And again, I like the pipe vise. I don't think it's worth the money, what I paid for it. But yeah, this one, the way it articulates around, you could never really tell how easy that is until, you know, you actually, in my opinion, have one. You know, how easy it kind of clicks around it. Rachel said she uses it daily in brewery maintenance. They don't replace the pliers wrench, but more work better in unison. Yeah, I can see that too. Well, and just because I don't know that I'd want to carry around a whole set of them, you know, but like if you know you're going in to do a certain job and you know what size it's going to be all the time, to me, but that's the advantage of a pliers wrench, is you can just put one of them in your bag, and whatever you run into, you'll be able to make it happen. Although Wacky says he never has his whenever he needs it. I don't like the pipe vise much. The speed wrenches are good. Yeah, I don't think the pipe vise, in my opinion, and again, I bought the smallest one. I think if you bought the next size up and you did a lot of gas piping and stuff like that, or turning threaded pipe, it'd probably be worth having if you had that. But I don't do a lot of that. And the small one is just not that, you know, there's not very many sizes of things. You're never going to probably ever use it on pipe. You're just going to use it on things, and then it just doesn't come in handy. I'd rather just have a pair of Cobras. Do we yet know what Random does with his tools? Yeah, I know. He emailed me, so I've got it. I filmed the guest of trade. I've actually got it sitting in there, edited, and the thumbnail done. I got to upload it still, but I didn't want to upload it while I knew I was getting ready to come out here and do a live, because I figured it was going to eat up a lot of my internet and all that kind of stuff. Found a Metabo HPT 6-gallon compressor at Lowe's, $44. Nice. Pipe vise pliers are too much money. And Plumbing just said, I was getting ready to say, I want the actual vise, but again, the money they want's crazy. Yeah, the little, if you do a lot of pipe and putting stuff together, that little vise setup they got is pretty nice. I never have even looked to see how much it is. There's no telling, because how much their other stuff is. Oh, that was Jamie that found a Metabo HPT. I think I saw the little blue circle, and I was thinking it was Matt. My ears with that pancake. Did you see the Tech Pack MCP is available? Yeah, I did, Nick. There's also a deal going on at Acme Tools where you can get 12% off. It's the April Fool's deal. I don't know if it's still going on. I want to say it said it went on through April the something. And they're supposed to be a authorized dealer, but Matt was saying sometimes it takes you a little while longer to get it, but you can still get the free bag through them and save 12%. But I'm going to get the MCTP, check the size of it, see what I feel about it, because no matter what, I'm going to keep that bag probably, and maybe get rid of my Blackout, because I want those pouches on the side. And then if I feel like Well, it could stand to be a little bit bigger with the MCP, then I might go ahead and order it too. What's up, Maximiliano? Maximiliano. Tech MCP infrared in stock. Yep. Pasco makes the best compression angle stop holder. Is Pasco's I watch a lot of shorts. Whenever I go through shorts, the Replumb guy comes up there, and he's always got something that he slides on. You thread on the top piece on the like 3/8 end or whatever, and then he's got some sort of a ratcheting action that he slides over top of the compression like nut. I don't know if that's the Pasco version. I got $44 off my Tech MC Wheeler through Acme. Yeah. I need to check and see what the date is on it, because I started to go ahead and order the MCP through, because no matter what, even if I buy it, because I thought I might go ahead and order the MCP through Acme and get the discount, get the free bag, and then no matter what, if I decide it's too big, I can sell an SPMC and a Tech Pack MCP for what I'll have in it for sure off Acme. I won't lose money, but then I'll at least have it in my hand to be able to look at it. It's starting to rain a little bit harder now, so y'all probably be able to hear it here in a minute. That's the set, but I only use the extension part of that. So you only use the part that's on it. That's what I was talking about. I think I'm gonna buy it just for what you just said, Matt. I think I'm gonna buy, because the one stop you kind of just stick down inside of the hole, but I like the idea of being able to thread it on there and then use this on top of it with it. Yeah, that's what Plumbing says he does too. That's what I was thinking in my mind. That's what I'm gonna do too, I think. Have you seen the little aluminum adjustable flare nut wrench? No, I don't think I've seen that some way. Not that I know of. Nice, relaxing background sounds for the chat. Hopefully that's as loud as it's going to get. That's probably as hard as it's been raining in the last little bit, but actually I think it's coming right now. Sent you a link to the Pasco holder. Yeah, because the one stop one works okay, but I don't like that it's not like... I like the fact that you thread on the other one more so than just sticking it down in the hole. But back whenever I first looked at that one, for whatever reason on Amazon, it was super expensive, like $70 or something. And the one stop, a lot of you recommended that. It's a good tool. The Rigid one stop's a good tool to have as a compact thing that you can have it all in one spot. But I bought it because it was a ton cheaper. But now since then, that one thing, if it's the Pasco, it's come down a lot on Amazon than what it was whenever I first started looking at it. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, I think if you do certain jobs and you know what you're going to use it for, like I said, I wouldn't want to carry around a whole entire set of them probably, because I'm not going to need it enough. I'd rather have just one pliers wrench in my bag. But if you run a certain job all the time, I think it'd be worth having. I might get I think the next size down from that might be a good size too, because this would almost work on the top one too, to take off supplies and stuff like that. But I think you need the next size down, because it should be 3/4 to whatever, maybe it's 1/2 inch or something like that. Pasco just holder is $25-ish. Compression olive puller from Pasco is $40 to $50. The best, let me see, it's in my truck. I was gonna say, I thought it was in my plumbing box, but it's in my truck, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That compression puller that I've got works super good, and you can put an impact on it if you want to. I never do that because I like to be able to feel it. But it's been really handy, and the way that it comes with one of those comes with a nut, like a bolt end on it, but it's got a little bar that goes through that you can sit there and twist it like a T-handle, but I cut that out and I just put a ratchet on it, and I love it. 7-inch Harbor Freight Icon snap-on crimper wire stripper. I've seen pictures of it. Somebody sent me an email with it, I think, that had picked it up. I haven't seen it in person yet, though. I haven't been to my Harbor Freight in a long time. Probably since, well, matter of fact, I didn't even go to Harbor Freight to get the Talon grips. I ended up shipping them to my house. I did go to the Harbor Freight, though, to see if mine had them. So that's the last time I've been to Harbor Freight. Doesn't do 12 gauge, just 14. Yeah, if something doesn't do 12 gauge and 14, I don't. Well, it wouldn't be bad to, I guess, have in my garage. It might be one of them tools where I might buy it and put it in my garage. It is red and sheet metal, or the cheap Husky one. Impact is a way to end up doing a lot more work if not careful. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of, if I can use ratchet screwdrivers and stuff on stuff that's not like I'm fastening stuff together, like framing and all that. Like I'm a big person, like doorknobs. I like screwdrivers. I don't use impacts and drills a lot of times. Now I have started using the vessel screwdriver a lot on stuff like that, because that to me is nowhere near like an impact or a drill or anything like that. So unless you've got like you still even have to be careful with them, like a M12 installation driver or the M12 screwdriver gun or the DeWalt gyroscopic screwdriver, that kind of stuff. Doorknobs and stuff, man. If you get one thread off and you hit it with an impact, you've done messed up that whole doorknob. I'm gonna see. I actually haven't put this. I haven't put the Weehaw hat on because I wasn't wanting to get it dirty before. Let's see what it looks like on my. It's got the big flat bill on it. We'll see what. Oh, I got to bring my mic with me. See what it looks like. I feel like the quality HVAC guy with this hat on. Evil Energy fitting hose wrench adjustable. I'll have to try to remember that, or email me that so I'll remember to look it up, or email me a link to it, even if it's, and I'll look it up. Do you have the MB3B? No, I've got an MB3. I don't have an MB3B. I got the MB3 for free. I actually got my cameras and stuff. And I think that's what I'm actually going to do. That's what I thought I might would do with my, because I'm going to plan on using the SPMC, and then I'm going to use my MCTP or that MCP, because what I was going to do is, right now in my MB3, I keep my camera and all that stuff, which I filmed a video. I'm going to probably put it out tomorrow. I was actually going to put it out today if I couldn't do a live. So I used something that somebody sent me, and so I'm doing a review, but I also filmed a lot of footage of me using it. So it's going to be like almost like a combination. I've got it uploaded. I just got to release it. It's going to be a combination of like a watch me work, but also a tool review. But I used the DJI camera for it the other day too, and it's phenomenal. It's a pretty good camera. Integrates with my iPhone super easy. I really love the fact that it's all one, like basically every time I start and stop it, it's one video, so it doesn't take, like my GoPro split it up like in 20-minute increments, and then I have to put them all back in order and stuff like that, and I didn't really care for that. So I'm depending upon what goes on tomorrow. There's going to be some other people working there, but I'm hoping to be able to film some of that. So what I was saying is, I'm planning on whatever of the bigger bags, since I'm going to carry a small bag and a big bag, and I've got my pouches, I'm going to move my camera stuff into one of those bags with tools in one of those bags, so that way, if I'm going to do a job or I'm going to film something, I can just carry in that one bag. Because I'm going to hopefully be able to start filming more stuff. Because that camera, the DJI, the battery life on it it's been pretty unreal. Like compared to my GoPro, night and day. Woot has Weehaw saw face hammer, 43 bucks. TVG said that particular build shape tends to make me say get a job. Yeah, whenever I saw it, I thought, like, I don't know if y'all have watched the guy. I think he lives in Tennessee. It's Quality. I think it's Quality HVACR, and I can't remember what his name is. He's pretty good videos. I like watching his stuff. He's always wearing a hat. Looks just like this. Starting to come down a little more. How much was the DJI? So I got the Adventure Pack. It came with this charging case with 3 batteries in it. And that charging case with the 3 batteries, like if you wanted to buy that later, was going to cost you like $100. And the normal price on it was $4 something, but they had it on sale a little while back. It might still be on sale now. I can't remember, for $369 or something like that. I think I've got a link to it in maybe that barn cleanout video, possibly. It's still not too loud where you can't be heard. Yeah, it's coming down harder right now than it has the whole time I've been out here. MB3B would be the perfect size for me if only Vito would update it so the backpack and sling straps were compatible. How about garage? You get it done? No, not yet. This is one of the main reasons why I'm doing it, though, is this right here, because I'm going to be building basically a roof over top of this roof and then shingles instead of metal. And then I'll be able to put some sound insulation and stuff up in there too. Appreciate that, Wacky. You too, buddy. I haven't even started it yet because I haven't even got any of the posts or anything delivered because I'm really busy right now with work, and I just didn't want stuff sitting out here for a month. And this is the time of year where this weather's like this, so then it will be sitting out here for a month in this kind of stuff. Yeah, and with the DJI camera, I don't have the DJI mic, so really I can't even hook a microphone up to it. They do sell an adapter where you can hook up an external mic of whatever you want to. You have to plug it into the USB-C. But the nice thing about the DJI too is if you buy a DJI mic, it just automatically, you don't have to hook up a cord, you don't have to plug anything in. It just hooks up to it. So my next microphone purchase will probably be a DJI. The MB3B, not the MB3 Blackout. Morgan won't ask, but remember to like and subscribe. Appreciate that, Terry. I like flat bill hats on others, but they don't look right on my big head. Yeah, I've always felt like I look a little weird in them too, which I used to be one of those that, like, I really cranked it down. I had that, really, really close deal. I used to do that whenever I was younger, but yeah, whatever this is my go-to, but I'll wear that kind every now and then. But it's just something where you feel like it does look weird because that's not normally what you wear. Make sure I didn't miss something. Gotta bend that brim a little. Plumbing said. What's up, Jacques? Yeah, so the guess the trade, I had to skip over one person because I didn't have their handle. He sent me a handle in his email, and I couldn't find him on YouTube, which I'm glad kind of because he's got like 3 bags, and it would have been a long filming process, and I was trying to fit it in before the rain came. So I skipped over to the next one. I'm going to go back to him. He's on Instagram, so I told him to send me a screenshot of his Instagram handle, so we'll use that. What's up, Mac? Mac, I gave you a thank you earlier. You're just in here. I was letting you know I got your gifts. I was just talking about how this is a lot better than kind of what I expected, the Wera Joker. So now I get to add. So I'm going to take I'll have one SDS screwdriver here because I was kind of wanting another one here anyways. So I wanted to make sure and thank you now that I saw you in here. Plastic washer cages. Yeah, I used to have those that you put in the dishwasher to wash your hat and make the brim. But I used to always take I used to take a cup like this and stick a hat in it for days and wet it and all kinds of stuff to get it to where it was curved a lot. Blackout's out of stock. Phoenix. It's going to be my roof bag. I like the hard bottom. I like that Klein screwdriver thing, but it kills me how much wasted space is in that case. I hope the Wera works better for you than for me. I think it's going to be, I'm going to use it for my compression shutoff valves for sure, and I'm sure there'll be some other stuff come up, but I think it's a plumbing tool in my opinion. Like from what I'm seeing from it, like, and I'm not saying other people couldn't use it, especially like electricians and stuff, where if you're doing, but a lot of times most electricians now don't use a lot of the fittings of that way. Like, I mean, you do obviously, but whenever they're just putting conduit together, usually it's just a screw type and that kind of stuff, the ones I see most of the time. So, but for sure for my compression angle stops, that's going to work pretty nice. PB, have you had a chance to test that vessel speed L handle? I've only used it a few times. I've been keeping, it's in my, going to go in my new bag, but I've used it just to be trying it like in stuff out here in my garage. I haven't used it a ton. But were you the one who emailed me, PB, about the metal? Somebody emailed me asking me about it, or maybe it was a comment. I can't remember. Maybe it was a comment, but I think it was an email saying that they had read a review where somebody told them the insert was plastic. So I came out here to double check, but mine's all metal. I can't remember if that was you or not. Somebody did. I'm doing pretty good, Jock. Trying to stay dry. It's been raining nonstop since yesterday. It's supposed to rain all the way through Sunday. I think they said we could get up to 12 inches of rain over the course of the whole weekend, which I live up on a hill, so I'm not really so worried about like flooding for me per se, but there's certain areas around here where the roads get like impassable because water end up getting too high. Might just be me. I was a catching tight end in football. Coordination is not my specialty. That vessel eye wrench works great. Nice when you need to feel the torque. Yeah, it's definitely, you can do stuff fairly fast with it. I did take it the other day. I was putting together a patio swing for a lady, and it came with an Allen key, which I never use, which normally I actually honestly get out my hex bits and put it in a screwdriver handle usually, but I did use this for that, and it worked out. I used it the whole entire time, just like the Allen wrench, except it's bigger. You're able to spin stuff in faster. But I can't imagine, because the person that was asking me about the plastic, whenever I told them it was metal, and they said, "Do you think that it would break?" Again, I don't personally feel like you could break this using it like you're supposed to. But now, if I wanted to go get something and slide it on here and try to break some kind of crazy thing loose or something like that, which it's not intended for, type thing, you can break anything if you really want to, but I can't imagine using this like you're supposed to, or like you're intended to, or what they intend for you to use it for. I can't imagine it breaking personally. It seems like it's built pretty well. Don't you know in plumbing, tighter is better. What's up, Kiltronics? The Allen keys that come with stuff are the worst tools on earth. Yeah, pretty much anything that they give you in a kit to put something together, you just need to throw it straight in the trash. Screws and everything most of the time. Yeah, this patio set, I actually need to check with her, because it was like a glider that had a roof built over top of it, and the box was like beat all to get out. And then whenever I opened it, all the hardware, like it was meant to be in this package, and every bit of it was just out and loose inside that box. And I was like, oh man. So I had to sit there and count all of it and do all that and make sure she had it all. And then she ended up she was missing one bolt out of all that. Like I was like, I can't believe you're only missing one bolt. But then I got to this part, and it was like it was one of the hangers that actually attached to the glider. She was missing one of those, and I don't see how like somebody got like that came out of the box and somebody didn't say, hey, this is supposed to go with something. So I'm waiting for her to be able to get that part, and I got to go over and put that on. But yeah, anytime I order like mini blinds and all those kinds of things, all the screws that come with it, those just go straight in the trash as soon as I open them. Electrical worker Japan video, they took it apart and it was all metal. Yeah, I can tell this is all metal 100% inside of there. I can tell by looking at it. Like this whole black piece is all metal. There's no plastic in that at all. Even this little, sleeve here is metal. I can't imagine there's anything in it. Like I said, I can't imagine this breaking unless like you had a bit or something in there and we're really cranking on it. It might would, but even then, I'm going to be honest with you, I think it would probably take a whole awful lot. It's on there pretty good. To me, what I'd say that is a really good Allen wrench that, like, as far as the size of the handle and all that, that you can turn into whatever you want to. So, like, if you want to carry, again, this in case you like, if there's times where you like using an Allen key, but then you can also buy you a set of bits like this, and instead of carrying 17 sizes of this, you can just carry one of these and one of these and use it in that situation, and it's a better Allen key. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to get, like if you've got to get a small Allen key into some tight spot, you're not going to be able to get this in there like you can maybe an Allen key, but it's definitely going to be a whole lot bigger Allen key than the one that you're typically going to get with some of these small sizes. So that's what I kind of look at it as, and you can put sockets and stuff on it. During the pandemic, made a bunch of money putting stuff together after people would give up after using those Allen keys. Haven't had as much rain as usual in Oregon. Yeah, we've been getting hammered with it all this year, really. It's been a pretty wet year. Really like your Klein pass-through socket video 3/8. Yeah, that's the best set in my opinion. That I think it's the 400. If that's the essential set or something like that, so far that's the best set. Now, if you wanted the, that's the best set for the money, unless I don't think I got them in here. I don't know if I do or not. Yeah. Now, if you end up wanting these sockets, but in my opinion, I don't think there's even a need for these sockets if you've got the pass-through sockets. But if you wanted these and the pass-through sockets, I would get that complete set instead of buying both of those, unless you just want smaller boxes, if that helps you in your storage or something like that, because you do get a few more sizes if you buy them separate. But the 3/8 set I keep in my truck. It's in there all the time. So, but I think the complete set, that comes in a case. It's like this size. So if you can't store that as easy in your truck or something, and you'd rather have, a couple of these instead, then you got to pay that extra money. He doesn't need to annex ratcheting screwdriver anyways. The bitch, yes, he ordered some. Oh, somebody said something. I must have missed that. Oh, yeah, Someway said it's going to send me a link to the annex. Matt sent it to me about 40 times. Have you gotten any of the lifetime warranty tools serviced? And if so, what company was good and what was bad for service? So I'm not a big warranty person. The M12 Surge, I've got a video where I sent it in. It was super easy process. Really happy with that. That's the first thing, and the only reason why I really sent it in was because had Milwaukee came out with a new Surge, I probably wouldn't even mess with sending it in to get it repaired, because I would have felt like they're probably not going to fix it type thing or something like that. But since if that one wasn't going to be fixed, I was going to go buy another one. And I didn't want to buy the same one I just had, thinking, well, they're probably going to come out with a new one maybe in a year or something like that. So I was like, well, I've got plenty of other impacts I can use. I can use my M18 Surge or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and send it in for repair and see what they say. So that's the only really reason why I tried that. And then again, they fixed it, didn't charge me anything, sent it back to me. So other than that, for like hand tools and stuff like that, unless it's something where I could walk in the store, I don't mess with because, I mean, you just think about, let's say, hypothetically, let's say this thing here has got a warranty on it, but I bought it off somebody on Amazon or whatever, but I could probably contact Vessel and say, hey, this is broke. Can I send it to you? Well, then I've got to put it in some kind of package and mail it to somebody. I've got to figure out and have a conversation with somebody about where I'm supposed to send it and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, by the time I'm into that, I'm in it for like 2 or 3 hours or something like that for a, $20 tool. I'd just as soon spend 10 minutes and go to Amazon and hit buy again and just buy me another one type thing. So I don't typically deal with warranty stuff. It's not worth it to me. And that's why I never buy the extended warranties on anything, because in my experience dealing with the TV side of it or anything like that, and I'm sure it's probably the same with tools, whatever it is that you think you bought, it's not covered by whoever it is. Matt said he wanted a new Surge, and they said they had one. I love the M12 Surge, best impact ever made. Yeah, I love it. Like I said, there may not be a lot more they can do with it power-wise and stuff, because it, like, for an upgrade, that's usually what they usually have to change something on it to make it be an upgrade. But since it's a hydraulic thing, maybe they're limited on what they can do with it as far as for power. But I'd just like to see the 3 lights on the front, or do something like that. Jacques said he has both, but rarely use the flip. Yeah, the flip ones I bought, but I bought them before I bought the 3/8 pass-through set. And had I had that set, again, because you got to think, it's very deceiving when you look at those sockets. You're thinking, oh, I'm getting some deep well sockets, but you're not. You're just getting flip sockets. They might be a hair deeper than the pass-throughs, but again, the pass-throughs are pass-throughs, so you can use them in a ratchet as pass-throughs. So they're as deep as you want to make them. So you're really only getting sockets with this. So if you have the 3/8 pass-through set, you've already got the same sockets. You don't even really need these. There's really no use for them, in my opinion. I don't know of a situation where having one of those is going to be more beneficial than having the pass-through socket. Klein has a good repair replacement service. Yeah, Lowe's, I talked to a guy at Lowe's. Again, I've never done it. While I was sitting there and he was getting the stuff down for me, the pliers wrench from Klein and stuff, whenever they first came out. And he said that Cobalt and Klein, because I actually asked him about Cobalt. I said, is it true that you can just walk in here with the Cobalt tools? Because they had a ton of Cobalt stuff sitting there, and then like they'll just trade them out. And he said, yeah, but he said they'll do that with Klein too. So that's what the store guy told me. Now, your dealings with customer service at Lowe's could vary depending upon the store type thing, but that's what he told me. Chris was looking at Milwaukee Future Products new line of subcompact M12. Will you add? Looks interesting. Yeah, I saw those too. I'm not going to get them because they're not even, I don't even think they're fuel. And so now maybe if you wanted to, so they're not going to have as much power as the other M12 stuff. And even though they are smaller, it's not like it's going to be like, oh, wow, I can't think of any place where I've used my M12s and thought, man, this thing really needs to be a ton smaller type thing. If they were fuel and had power of the fuel, I haven't looked at them to make sure and see what their torque values and stuff are, but I'd just as soon keep using a surge than to go with something like that. I have seen those though. I was just looking through Milwaukee's new stuff coming out just the other day too. Matt says, me too. If it takes too much time, it's not worth it. Yeah, like I said, it all depends on what you're warranting. You know, if I bought some kind of a machine that was $2,000 and something happened to it, then yeah, I'd spend the time to look into it and see if something was covered. But if it's a hand tool, if I can't walk in the store and just swap it out, like if I've got to do something to do it, I either won't buy it if it broke super early and I felt like it was junk, or if sometimes stuff just breaks and I still like the tool, it just so happened to break on me, but I wanted another one, I'm just going to go buy it. See you, Rob. That's why I buy most of my tools at a locally owned tool shop. Walk in with the bad tool. Most of the time, walk out with a fixed one or a new one. I saw some guys tried to get their Stabila level warranted. They spent $50 to ship it, only for Stabila to not fix it. I understand not swapping it out, but fixing the bubble you'd think would be cheap. Yeah, especially if you had a customer, you know, ship you something and pay all that money, you'd think you'd do something to it. Klein Connect hex bit set, the larger set, 65233 hex. Yeah, I haven't bought those. I've gotten to where I don't carry very many Allen key sets. Like I bought these Milwaukee ones and they stay in my drawer in my garage. I keep a small set of Baccos in my truck just in case I need the slim profile to fit inside of somewhere to get like some set screw that's real deep or something like that. But for the most part, like on my jobs and in my tool bags, I've just swapped over to carrying, you know, hex bits, and then that way I can put them in anything I want to. Screwdrivers, impacts, vessel screwdriver, electric screwdriver. That takes up a whole lot less space because this has got metric and SAE in it right here. So pretty much it's this in your tool bag or this in your tool bag, along with the screwdrivers and stuff you're already carrying anyways. And I personally like using them in a screwdriver better than I like using, you know, that kind of stuff anyway. So that's why I haven't bought the Klein. I saw them, the colored versions and all that kind of stuff, and I thought about getting a set of them, but maybe one day if they're on clearance or something, I might buy them just to try them out. M12 Surge has plenty of power. Yeah, it's always been good for me. Like it will do. And the M18 and the M12 Surge, there's very little difference between those two. Like, so I don't know if you want to say that means the M18 Surge is weak or the M12 Surge is as powerful. But it's basically the only reason why I bought the M18 Surge was just so I could have longer runtime on big jobs, like big framing jobs and stuff like that. So that way I can just put like a bigger battery in it and just keep going all day and don't have to change and stuff like that. The M18 one will do a little bit more, but it's a very slight difference between the two. It's the M18 track saw all over again one of these days, but years later. Knipex warranted my pliers wrench, but they were a little slow, 2 or 3 weeks or so. Metro Wash said. I think I saw Wera and I skipped over it. Terry, no, it was Terry said something about Klein. Good if you're not in a hurry. Good repair and service. Really hoping Klein comes out with a more variety of their mod box. The Cobalt, yes, Matt said. So Matt said that his Lowe's will do Cobalt, but not Klein. He tried at 3 stores, and they all said call a number. So again, that's probably my guess would be, because whenever he said that to me, I was like, I don't know about that, because it would be surprising to me. But I think back though at Home Depot, there were some people when Klein at Home Depot, they said you could go in there and swap stuff out. But again, I've never tried that. Never never even came across my mind. Matter of fact, I don't know that I've ever had a Klein tool break in the way that I would have warranted it. Because if a lot of times when tools break, if they break, it's my fault for I was trying to do something with it that I wasn't supposed to be doing. So I don't know that I've ever even tried to do any of that. Max said you found an associate at Lowe's. I had to go get him. And I was the very first like I got there when the doors opened. There wasn't even anybody else in the store. And I had to go find him. I had to get something off the top shelf. Max said he got that subcompact set. Need to get on that Morgan's maintenance merch. Hyper tough 12-volt grinder. Railer sets are awesome. Yeah, the hex sets are. That's all I've been using since I bought them. Because it's just such a small, compact package to be able to have all those sizes in one spot. And then I've started using the Tool Check Plus a lot of times. It's got a few hex sizes in it, and I keep that inside of my vest. So most of the time, all that any of the furniture stuff I've been putting together, I think maybe it's a 6 or something like that. The Wera Tool Check set's been taking care of it for the most part, but Klein quad socket sets, Clint Cole said. I haven't seen them in person, but I took a picture. Milo's has over where all the Klein Mod Box stuff are, they had like a poster board type thing that said, it's talking about all the options they had, and it had the pass-through sockets, it had the flip sockets, and then it said, and quad sockets, and it had pictures of them on there, but I still haven't seen anything about being released from it. I took a picture of it. Then that's been a long time ago when I saw that. I might have even sent it to you in an email. I sent it to somebody. Got the M18 Surge so my son would stop stripping screws. Don't really work. I really like my Wera Allen. Yeah, that Wera Allen keys, they do grip pretty well. Just picked up the M12 blower service HVAC units, blowing dust out of electrical compartments. Yeah, that kind of stuff I could see it for. I bought it. I keep mine over here. Yeah, you can see it in the screen over there underneath the saw blades. I basically use it to blow off so it doesn't, because it's stout enough to blow the dust off of here and then not blow stuff off. If I go get my M18 blower and stick it up here, it'd be blowing screwdrivers off and everything else. So it's good for that kind of, like when you want to clean off something but not really, like in an electrical situation like that, in an HVAC unit, you don't want to just go blowing wires like 100 miles an hour and then they end up loosening up off some kind of tab or something like that. I could never swap anything at Home Depot. That wouldn't surprise me at my Home Depot. I don't know if that's every Home Depot, but my Home Depots, it all depends on who you get at customer service, but they don't do a lot of stuff that a lot of other Home Depots do. That's just like even the clearance stuff. Like I see clearance stuff like crazy online, and my Home Depot just never does it. I think my Home Depot's got some kind of deal with somebody. The manager does, and a lot of the good clearance stuff never sees the light of day at my Home Depot. TPG said he swapped some Husky stuff at Home Depot, no problem. I joked on our Atlas 46 video, yeah, don't order black. It may take you a year to get it, and they took my comment down. I don't get it. It's like, I don't see how they're still in business, to be honest with you. It's like, it's sad too, because they make really good stuff. I like everything I've got from Atlas as far as the vest. I don't really care for a lot of their pouches and stuff that much, which I don't have any of their pouches. I've only got like little add-on type stuff. I love their vest though. And it's sad that I just don't see how you can stay in business taking 6-7 months to get somebody something. And then even in that case, it's like they should comment back to you and say, we're sorry that it's taken so long. And then even email you and stuff. That's the whole purpose behind social media and stuff for a company like that. Use the wolf box, Chris says. Yeah, that's gonna be that's my blower that I've got it sitting right there in my truck, right next to my super slick stuff can. So I blow off my tool and I clean it with the super slick stuff. But I will use it for that same stuff, like what he just said about blowing out units and stuff like that. That's what I'm planning on using it for too. M18 grinder with or without the paddle switch. I bought the one with the paddle switch. All my other grinders before this one have always just had the slide lock, and there's been a lot of times where I never liked, because I would be working in a hairy thing like guard off and all that kind of stuff, which I know you're not supposed to or whatever, but we all know that we do. And it's just like you can't turn it off as easy, or something happens and you aren't able to hit the little switch on the side. I personally like the paddle lock better. Makes me feel safer, I guess. It's kind of like, to me, it's the same way I felt about the M12 barrel grip jigsaw, where you've got this on and off. You have to turn it on and off. I prefer the trigger, where I can let go of it and it turns off type thing, over on the older version. Then I prefer the switch on that. I mean, you get used to it, but I like the paddle grip. I like a switch basically on anything. Matt says he likes lock-on grinders. He doesn't care for safety. Better run the Home Depot, the worse the clearance. The better run, the worse the clearance. My Home Depot does have some Milwaukee shirts. I don't need any, because I buy those 32-degree shirts or whatever, these right here. And that's kind of that kind of shirt from Milwaukee. And they were still, I think they were maybe like $12 a piece or something like that. I think they were normally like $24. Acme, enter the chat. Did you say take forever to deliver your... Here we are. No, it was Atlas 46 takes forever to deliver your stuff. Acme's like waiting on Christmas. I've only ordered from Acme a couple times, and they ship me my stuff, but I've never done a lot of the pre-order stuff. Now, I don't know about anything that's pre-order. I ordered my DeWalt track saw and all my tracks and stuff through them, and I got them fairly quick. I ordered my DeWalt table saw through them. I got it fairly quick. So I've had pretty good luck, but I don't order from them very often, because there's a lot of tools that they have there that I really like hand tools and stuff. But it's like, I'm not going to come up with $199 worth of stuff just to get free shipping, and then I'm also not going to pay shipping. So Acme's a bank. Borrow your money so they can stock up and eventually deliver. The bad Home Depot has the gridiron shirts for $5. The good Home Depot still has them at $18. Yeah, I saw a bunch of the, I don't think I got my light in here, but you know, the Rover light I got that's a lot like the top off. You know, that's the main light I pretty much use all the time. So it looks like the top off. It has the little folding light up there. I saw a bunch of Home Depots online had those and the M12 Rover light on clearance for like $30 and stuff. And mine never did go down to that. Jamie said he pre-ordered a router 5 months ago, but it's here. That's good to know, because I've never done a pre-order at Acme. I've thought about it a time or two on a few certain things, but I've never done it. Once I get it, it's going to be $35 for the vest and $50 for the electrician bag. Yeah, so that's not too bad, Matt, since, I mean, you didn't really need it. So you ended up getting your stuff, even though it's going to take you forever, at least you're getting it for like a crazy good price. Mine had the N12 Rover for $59. Nope. Yeah. See, I saw some places online where like the M18 one, I think, was on sale for $34, and then the M12 one was on sale for like $30 or something like that. Clint, yeah, I ordered mine too, Clint. Toolbox is full of tools I bought from Acme or fasteners to get free shipping. Some gems, but probably overall a waste. I pre-ordered some of those Packout side items. Took forever. Yeah, I don't like, it's like in all honesty, they don't even charge you that much shipping sometimes. If you've got like a $60 or $70 order, you might pay $6 or $7. But the problem is, like, I wanted to buy the M12 little Klein ratcheting type tool, the little whatever you want to call it, the mini ratchet. And it was like, 14.99 or whatever it was. I don't even know. And it was going to cost $7 to ship it. It's like, I ain't paying $7 shipping on a $14, ratchet. But I'm not buying $199 worth of stuff to get a $14 ratchet either. Yeah, Matt just got a veto back to him. Like I said, they've got a sale going on where it's 12% off. I think it might be everything. I can't remember if it's everything in the store or not, but so I mean, if you're gonna buy something anyways, that's a pretty good deal. Oh, it's tools and tactics. You still in here? I was gonna ask him about if you're still in here. What do you think about your Tozo uh, headphones? Because I'm looking for a pair of headphones to wear while I'm like cutting grass and stuff here at my house. I don't cut grass for a living, but cutting grass, like, I'm wondering if the sound canceling is good enough to, like, you can hear the music at least over the lawnmower type thing. Bruce said he did the pre-order for the M12 grinder from Tool Up. They had free shipping and a $25 off flash sale. I don't think I've ever bought anything from Tool Up. I think I bought something from the Tool Nut, maybe. See if I got a sticker, because I think they sent me a sticker if I remember right. I know I looked at stuff on Tool Nut 2 or 3 times. I couldn't remember if I ever ended up buying anything off of them or not. I think I did, though. I'm not seeing the sticker. It's sticking out to me anyways. I'm pretty sure I did. I think I bought something from them. I think I've bought something from Tool Nut once. I have bought something from Ohio Power Tool once. And then I bought something from Acme a few times. But again, all those are places where you got to spend X amount of dollars to get free shipping. It was just for the 1st, and no, not Milwaukee. Okay, so that sells off then. It was just for April 1st, April Fool's Day. Chris, is there a promo code for the 12% off? Matt said it was only for April 1st. I didn't know if it was for a later date, because I think I kept seeing April, and then I think I was seeing 12% off instead of, I was thinking it was going through April 12th, but it might have been the 12% off. Because I started to go ahead and order my MCP through them, because it was going to make it like $300, and then go ahead and go through the process of getting the free bag and do all that. But I decided not. I just keep ordering through Vito. I've ordered from Tool Nut many times, never had a bad experience, and they only require $99 for free shipping. Yeah, I bought something from them. I don't remember what it was. I could have swore I had a sticker sitting out here that said it on there, but I don't see it. I can't remember what it was. I bought something from Ohio Power Tool, but I don't remember. I know it was Milwaukee, whatever it was I bought, but I don't remember what it was I bought from them. Get the 3M work tunes. They are great. Yeah, I'm wanting something so, like, if I'm in the skid steer or if I'm on my lawnmower, I mean, I'm not expecting it to drown out the lawnmower or the skid steer 100%. That I don't care if it does that. I just want it to where I can still at least, like, anything I've got now, like all I've got now are like AirPod type things, and I can turn up the music on my phone to 100%, and you're not going to hear it over the lawnmower. Even if what I normally do even is take my, like, AirPod type, put them in, and then I put earmuffs over top of those, and that still won't really drown out enough of it. Because I told myself at the end of the mowing season last year I needed to find me a pair of headphones so that because it takes me a little over an hour to cut my grass. what I mow anyways. I agree. I used 3M work tunes for a few years. Best you found. So are those the kind that are like I've got 3M things over here, but this type of headphones, I think I'd rather have like this kind, but these aren't headphones. These are just earmuffs, but this kind, not the kind you stick in your ear. I'd rather have this kind, I think, because if I'm gonna wear them for a long time, I'd just as soon have them over my ear like that. Uses them mowing and weed eating. Neat warranty experience. My Gorilla stepladder had a removable tray that walked off, and I wanted to purchase a new tray. No way to buy it, but Gorilla replaced it for free anyways. That's pretty nice. There's some places out there that say even if something gets lost or stolen, I've never seen it on tools so much as like sunglasses and all that kind of stuff, that they say they've got that kind of warranty. So it is like those. That's good. Yeah, I might look into those. The Tozo people have emailed me a bunch of times about sending me some. That's why I was going to ask Tools and Tactics, because I think I remember him doing a video on them or doing something. But they're only like $30, and anything that's like that, I'd just as soon go ahead and just buy it myself than to have somebody send me something. That way I can just buy them, don't have to make a video if I don't want to or whatever. But I was curious if he had used them in any situation like that where he was using something pretty loud with it, type thing. I might have to order me another stool. Whenever me and Miss Maintenance were out here, I had to get out the squeaky spider stool again and use that. I might have to order me another stool if we're going to do very many videos together. Do you want Bluetooth or just radio or both? It doesn't really matter to me. Whenever I'm doing that, I don't care if it's just Bluetooth. That way it'd be all music all the time, because I'm not good. I don't like using Bluetooth with stuff while I'm working because I'm moving around and people are calling me and all that. But whenever I'm cutting my grass and stuff, I never get my phone out of my hands because I've got zero turn. So I don't even answer a phone call. Somebody calls me. So it wouldn't bother me to use Bluetooth while I'm mowing type thing. But normally, yeah, I just listen to the radio when I'm working. But I probably won't ever wear these working wise. It's pretty much just going to probably be around the house. Best over the ear are Bose Quiet Comfort FC. Great customer service, amazing trade-in program. Matt said knob, Roy said muff. Yeah, I've been doing nothing but door casings and window casings and doors, which I'm on my last apartment of those. So me and my buddy spent the whole day yesterday just batch cutting the fire out of casings and going ahead and getting them pocket holding biscuit and all that stuff, and got them all together and put where they're going to go. So speed up the process for the rest of them. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to the job tomorrow, just being something different. But I did get in something from Beaver. I had talked about that in the last live, maybe, that they email me all the time. But I never have got anything from them because they were wanting me to fill out a bunch of stuff and all that. But the last time they emailed me what they was going to send me, I said, if you want to send that to me, I'd love to check it out. But I said, here's what I do is basically you can send me something. You don't have to pay me. You don't have to do anything. If you send me something for free, I said, but I'll make a video, and, as long as I can say whatever I want to say and all that kind of stuff. So now I've got like a cut and paste thing that I basically send to anybody that asks me about sending me something. And that way I don't have to keep retyping all that stuff too. And they ended up saying that was fine with them. Like I don't give people my phone number or all that kind of stuff. Did you actually compete in an Ironman? I know it looks like I do, but no, I ended up buying this at Goodwill, and I just like the size of it. What's up, Brian Davis? I know whenever you look at me, you think Iron Man. But the Beaver tool is the thing that I've got a review that I'm going to put out, probably put it out tomorrow maybe. And I've got some work footage in it, but it is pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Jamie True, that's what he was thinking. Stolen Valor sent the suggestion. Yeah, I like the mug. I thought it was really nice. But this size mug, this is what I like. Like I don't. A lot of coffee mugs are super small, like this one back here. Most coffee mugs that you go to buy are like this size, which unfortunately I had an accident and a square fell off and cut off my handle on my Ron Swanson mug, which I never was going to drink out of it anyway, so it ain't a big deal. But like this size, I don't even want a mug that's this size. That's why I like this. Like I said, I hate Starbucks coffee, but this mug right here, I've had this forever. And this mug, like that's the size mug I like. About an 18 ouncer. How's that Grabo working with the battery adapter? Yeah, it works fine with it. I'll probably do a video on it at some point in time. Let's see. I did go ahead and buy myself another battery adapter. I only had one DeWalt one, and I always keep it on that oscillating tool, so I was having to swap it back and forth. You do have to put the battery on the adapter because it's kind of reversed, and then put the adapter in. Probably got a piece of plywood or something laying around here somewhere. Yeah. It's hard to get this thing off this cover. So it comes with this cover, I guess in case you're somewhere where there's a lot of sun or something like that. But I'm planning on doing a video. I think I'm going to shoot it in a way of showing ways that you'd use it, but I'm also going to have Miss Maintenance use it because she told me that I didn't need this and that it was a waste of my money, and I had just bought the DeWalt lifting jacks and all that kind of stuff. And I was trying to explain to her how it's a total different tool for total different stuff, because she's like, well, what do you need that to lift up drywall for? You bought the lifting jacks for that. So I mean, I'm getting better suction on this one than I was even the other one. And then you just hit the X button. It still holds on to it for quite some time too, even with it off. I mean, that's still got a hold on it pretty decent. I'm not even got it turned on and sucking. But you can press that and kind of get it off altogether. So yeah. I said the only downside is, like, to get this battery off, you got to take that out, take this battery off. But that's still way better to me than having to carry around a whole nother set of batteries. Stolen Valor. That's funny. Poor Ron. Yeah, I know it. That was what I remember whenever I first watched like that episode for the first time. Whenever some of these shows you wish you could go back and watch them for the first time again. But I remember watching that episode for the first time, and he's walking around that store, and they're like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "I know more than you." I mean, I can't tell you how long I laughed at that. Like it was one of the funniest things I've seen on a TV show because it was like so like how many times have I actually thought that in my head type thing. Looking for a way to transport 4 to 6 spray cans in my work truck and keep them from spraying like WD-40 Houdini. I don't know. They sell actually, now that you say that, they sell a insert for the Milwaukee Packout crate like on Etsy. Like they sell them for, I know they sell them for caulk tubes and stuff like that, but I want to say I've seen an insert for like spray paint cans and stuff like that too. So you might check in. I don't know if you're in Packout or not or whatever. If you're in some sort of system, check on Etsy and see if they sell something. Because I think they even sell something that goes in the ammo can for Milwaukee. That's kind of something like that too. Get the Klein stainless cup. I've got Klein cups like this. I've got 2 Klein cups that are like the Yeti cups like this. But I'm not a big fan of I don't like drinking out of metal cups like coffee. I don't mind drinking my water and stuff out of it, but for some reason I don't like drinking my coffee out of it. Like I like having a mug like that. It's like it tastes different to me. But again, I drink my coffee black. Maybe it doesn't make any difference if you put a bunch of sugar or something in it. I don't know, but I don't like drinking out of metal. I don't like drinking coffee out of metal. Again, I don't mind like I use my big Packout mugs and stuff like that are like a Yeti type thing. I use that for my water in the summer and stuff, but I don't never drink my coffee out of it. Chris says, "What's your go-to coffee, Morgan?" So I've started in the last little bit. I've been trying because normally I use the pods. And I've never been a huge fan of them either, but they're okay. They're fast. I mean, I'm the only person that typically drinks at my house. And if I'm making a cup in the morning, it's just super easy. But I just recently bought a Ninja coffee maker where you can use the filters and grounds, or you can also put cups in it. So I've got it set up for the grounds, like single use. And I've been buying the chock full of nuts. It's pretty cheap too, like on Amazon. And I really, really like it. It's pretty good coffee. I like it. I drink Folgers a lot, is what I normally would drink most of the time. But I've been buying that chock full of nuts. The last 3 cans of coffee I've used have been that. And I really like it. It's got a nice taste to it. Tough built cooler for my caulking and cheap Walmart Yeti knockoff cooler for spray cans. Harbor Freight has magnetic can holders. That's another thing I was going to say is I don't know how your truck is set up, but if you've got room to stick stuff that are magnetic, I know they sell magnetic spray can holders. If you just said van, I would have said that for sure, but you might not have enough room in a truck for something like that. Do a pull up off of it with the Grabo. How much did you get the Grabo for? I know it was a great deal. I got it for $149. It was $100 off. Brian Hall sent me a email, let me know about it. That's the only reason why really I picked it up. I would have probably not bought it. I don't think I'd have bought it at $249. And I was still even iffy on it at $149. But I've got like the, and it's probably in my truck. I think it's in my truck. I got it out here. I did have it. I've got the thing. It's called the Gorilla Grabber or something like that. You've probably seen one at your Lowe's now. There's other versions of it now, but like Craig's even got one, like a panel carrier or something like that, where you have it and it's got like this flap that you put over plywood or whatever, and then as you pick it up, it kind of fits up against it tight, and it's got like the non-slip, like bench dog. It's got like this kind of stuff on the inside. I've got one of those, and it's okay, but I mean, you have to carry whatever it is like this. So the weight is like always like your tricep, depends on how far you're carrying something, how heavy it is. It'll start burning on you like crazy. So there's going to be a lot of times where if you could grab a hold of it like this on certain things and just carry it without having your arm bent, it's going to be a lot better. But also just a lot of stuff like I really see it, especially like if large tiles, which hopefully I'm never going to lay any more of them in my lifetime. Well, it's not going to hurt my feelings if I don't, but like if you're needing to get something out somewhere and set it down where you can't really fit your fingers underneath of it or something like that, there'll be some times where you're going to think, I've got just the tool for that, and it's going to be that tool right there. I don't know that I'll use it a ton, but I think it's going to be one of those I'll be glad I got it. And it's one of those tools, if the battery adapters weren't a thing, I would have never bought it, like with it being in DeWalt, unless Milwaukee came out with one that I might would have, but since it had the battery adapter, I did. Bought some wrench organizers from a company called Allen Space Savers. Sent them a message that some of their product broke and found my order from my message and sent me a complete new order for free. You have any Harbor Freight tools? I'm starting to buy tools slowly, but wanted to look into some Harbor Freight tools. I've only bought a few of the Icon pliers in the last, so I bought the Talon grips, and in my opinion, if you're getting into tools and you don't want to spend Snap-on money, the plier part of it is fine. I'm not a big fan of the handles, but I don't like any of, I'm just not a big, some people probably love them because some people I'm not a thick handle person, but yeah, these are good so far. I like these little flush cutters. They're, again, a little bit big for, just depends on what you're going to use them for, but they work good though. So all the stuff I've got that are, these are kind of tight, but all the stuff like these are really good. Like in my opinion, like those Icon Talon grips, that's super good right there. These are a little tight, but other than that, I've only bought like a few things. Like I bought some of these, the pistol grip Icons. I got the other one in here somewhere. Yeah, the stubbyish one. And I think that's pretty much about it. This is probably the sum of my Harbor Freight tools right here. I would say also a lot of people like the dull. A lot of people tell me about the dull, like Cobra style pliers and stuff like that. But I personally, so far, I haven't used my Klein Cobras that much because this is a big pair. I bought them specifically just to have a big pair laying in here in the random instance that I need them. But my Klein pliers wrench so far has been pretty good. So if you're on a budget and you're getting into tools, I mean, you're talking $24 instead of, $60 for a Knipex pair. I don't see anything wrong with them in my opinion. I like my Knipex, but I mean, if you're, like I said, I'm buying tools at this point for enjoyment factor and just because I love trying stuff. But in the beginning, when you're building out your tools and you actually have to have a certain one and you're buying a bunch of them at one time, I think if you can save half the price, the Klein one's pretty good. Get a free promo bag. Highly recommend Alien Space Saver. How well do the flip sockets fit into the vessel ratcheting stubby section? You're talking about this screwdriver, and the flip socket's probably not going to fit. I wouldn't think. I don't have. I only got I got the Milwaukee one in here. So you're going to get, this is the Milwaukee one, but it's going to be the same thing with the Klein. It's got quite a bit of that on it because you're only dealing with it's only going in yay far, and it's also not like a ball D10 or anything in there to help hold it. And anytime you have a bit holder where this part of your shaft, if the depth of it, like if this was deeper or not as deep, you end up with this out here on the end. See how that, whenever you put this in there, how that's at the end, half of it, that means out there at that very end of that bit holder, you're going to have a ton of wobble because there's nothing holding it in that spot right on that edge of that bit holder, versus if you only put it in like if you were able to get it into a bit holder that looked like that, where you didn't have this out here either, and it was fully seated in there, you wouldn't have as much wobble. So I wouldn't think you'd want to end up using, I mean, you can use it, so it's not like I'm saying it won't work. I'm just saying that might, like once you start pressing on it up against something, it's going to work fine. But that right there has got quite a bit of play in it. I, at that point, would probably rather just use a, let's see what the difference is. See how that slides way in there, and I don't get any wobble on that. But that's because I'm going that deep into there. But let's say, again, I don't have a Klein one in here. Or there you go. See, there's the Malco one. And see, this doesn't have, this one's got a ball detent on it and doesn't have that little indention. So if I put that one in there, not as much. But I'd rather buy this handle. Of course, you're probably wanting the ratcheting. I'm not a big ratcheting fan. I'd rather have that one than this one. You're at the same length anyways. Does the Grabo fit inside the 2-drawer Packout? I have a 2-drawer Packout sitting over here, actually. If I can turn you. Without dropping my phone off. See if I make it in there or not. There she is. Well, no, not really. It definitely won't with the battery adapter on there, but it's pretty close. Let's see. I'm going to say, now, let me see if I take this off, because it's really close. Maybe if you... Yeah. It's pretty tight, though. It's rubbing. But it will go if you take this off, because then it ends up having some foam that will smash. I don't think there's any difference between the top and bottom. Bottom drawer is better. Maybe because this sticks down some. But not with that cover on there, though. Every time they approach me in the plumbing aisle. Yeah. Or have you ever been like in a Home Depot or Lowe's, and like one of their workers is there talking to a homeowner? You can tell it's a homeowner. So like you're in the electrical section and you're just in there shopping, minding your own business, or in the plumbing section or whatever else, and you're hearing the advice that this guy's giving the person or what they're telling them to do, and you're just like, and then after they walk off, you walk over to them and say, look, this is really what you need right here. This is what you got to do. I have that happen all the time. You sit there and listen to something somebody tells them, you're just like, I wouldn't do what they just told you to do. Coffee's always good out of my Yeti. Yeah, I just never have liked drinking coffee out of the metal containers. I don't know what it is. Fire department coffee. I have tried. I've been meaning to get some of the. A lot of people tell me to try the Black Rifle Company or whatever, but I haven't tried fire department coffee either. Death Wish coffee. Yeah, I haven't tried a lot of those. Like I said, I've normally just been a Folgers person. I'm not real super picky, but there are certain. I did buy. I don't mind McDonald's coffee. Like it's one of the places I'll go get it. Like if I'm driving through a drive-through, I don't. I like the taste of McDonald's. I don't like Krispy Kreme's coffee's gross. Dunkin' Donuts is okay. I don't like Starbucks at all. Again, I drink black coffee. I don't put anything in it. But McDonald's, I don't mind. I like Speedway gas stations. Now that they've got those machines that make it, it's pretty good stuff. Like the Columbia, I really like it. But for the most part, just making it at home, I just have always just bought Folgers or whatever. I was saying that I bought the McCafe, the McDonald's coffee in a can and made it at home, and I don't like it at all. Like it doesn't taste the same as what it tastes like at the actual place. I'm on both Team Mug and Team Black. Yeah, I have to have a mug like this. Like I even take one of these with me. Like I always in the mornings I make a cup like this, and that's what I take in my truck with me, and I drink it on my way to wherever I'm going. But even if I go into a gas station and buy coffee and make it, and they put it in the cup or whatever, I come out to my truck and I pour it into this and drink it out of this. The only times I don't do that is like the times where I'm walking around the store with y'all in the lives and I had a cup of coffee, and that's because if I'm going to go in a store with it, I keep it in that cup because most people would probably think you're weird walking around a store with one of these. But Death Wish is a solid 400 megagrams of caffeine per 16 ounces. Tim Hortons ground coffee. I've never even had Tim Horton coffee before. I need to try that. Tim Hortons is the best, Brian Davis said. Yeah, I need to try that. Yeah, I bought the chock full of nuts. I bought the original because it was on sale on Amazon one day, and I just decided I was going to order it and get it to the house. I really like that. Now it wasn't on sale the last time I ordered some, so I got the New York style or something or other. I'm not real sure. Arabia something or other. I think it said it had a black writing on it, and I like it. It's okay, but I like the original better. Matt's got the Craig grabber that works okay. Yeah, I've got something. I think it's called the Gorilla Gripper. That's same principle as that Craig. I saw the Craig thing in the store today. Actually, it's same exact type of thing. Customer had me put a 4x3 in a lift in a fireplace opening once. I don't like the Icon pliers handles either. Yeah, they're too thick and squishy to me. Again, I like my handles to basically be this. You know, I don't mind the comfort grip Knipex. Like it's not like, ooh, I touch them. I'm like, ooh, those are gross. I don't want them. But if I have my druthers, I just want I want my plier handles to be thin and slick like this. That's what I want. I don't like I don't like big beefy handles. I don't like real thick stuff. Um, which reminds me, I need to get these pliers out and take them with me tomorrow. Glad I looked in there. That was something I was thinking of. Really cool guy sent me the Icon needle nose pliers, and I like them. Icon pliers wrench is my least favorite of their tools. The Talon grips are nice, and the pistol grips are great. Yeah, I never bought the pliers wrench or the Cobras because whenever they first came out and I went in and looked at them, the price difference between them and Knipex, especially on the Cobras, it was like the pliers wrenches are expensive from Knipex. They're pretty expensive. Just depends on how you catch them. But the price difference between the Icon and the Knipex was not, I mean, it was cheaper, but it wasn't like, oh, that's half price. That's what I said about the Klein pliers wrench to me. If they're within $10 of each other, I'd buy the Knipex just because they've been out longer. They're the ones who, they've had them out for a long time. Klein's just now introducing them. They're made in a better place, all those kinds of things like that. But when you start talking about, Knipex is 60 and Klein is 25, well, now you're talking something. If they function the same, that's a big difference for a lot of people. Like some people aren't going to go out and spend that $60, go buy you the $25 pair. But if you're talking, the price difference is I'm going to pay 60 for this one and 50 for this one, I'm going to buy the Knipex for 60. I'm going to spend 10 more bucks every time. And I don't know if the Icons came down in price on the pliers wrench over the course of time, but back whenever I first looked at them, the price difference was not that much. Next week during the parking lot sale, all Icon pliers will be 35% off. Matt said the pistol grip ones are worth it since the alternative is way more. Yeah, I would have never bought the snap. That's basically when I buy them. Other than those Icon ones, or the Talon grips, I bought those after I already have the snap-ons. But I'm not going to use these that often in my work. But there's a lot of times when I've been working on lawnmowers or my truck or something like that, and I've needed to get in somewhere. But in my job, I can't think of very many times where I'm going to run into this. So I'm not going to go spend $100 on a pair of these from Snap-on whenever I'm only going to use them once in a blue moon, and they're going to sit out here in my garage. But I'll buy these all day long because again, it's just a handy tool to have. So I think they're worth it. I don't typically, that's whenever I'll buy something like that from Harbor Freights. If it's a tool that I'm not necessarily, and then again, I'm not saying I won't buy a Harbor Freight tool that I will use in my work and all that kind of stuff, but it's whenever if I'm going to use something every single day, that's a different, I think about that differently on the purchase of this is a specialty tool that I'm only going to get out every once in a while. Killtronics has some dual and he likes those. What's up, Woodchuck? I've given up on stubbies and only carry a bitch ratchet, saves space and is even better. Yeah, I don't use a stubby screwdriver that often anymore. Again, I use my Klein. I like these Klein ones here. And I was only basically using these more so because that's a whole lot like a, ball handle. I actually kind of got to where I liked using this more than I liked using even a regular Klein screwdriver. So I was still carrying these and just using it like a screwdriver all the time. I wasn't using it for stubby situations. But yeah, stubby situations, a lot of times I've gotten to where I use a small ratchet or, something like that. I've probably been on here for a while because I forgot I came out here early. Love the bit ratchet. He's getting the MCPT. He's flopped. Yeah, I might end up getting both of them, but I'm going to get I decided because I've been back and forth on about the size. The size is the only thing that bothers me. And then the straps, I don't know how much I'm going to like having them on there all the time. Because again, I'm not going to, if I was the person who used a backpack every day, it'd be a no brainer, but I'm not going to use one every day. I don't know how much I'm going to like dealing with those straps, but I still wouldn't mind having a backpack as an option. But I kept seeing pictures of the MCTP now that people have been putting them out there next to I still haven't seen it next to an MCP because I haven't seen anybody have both of them, but I've been seeing them next to the Tech MC of other people, and the size has got me a little weary. So I wanted the MCTP anyways. I was probably going to buy that even if I bought an MCP eventually, if not this year. And so I'm going to get it first and see what I think about the size of it, because it's going to be bigger, wider anyways than the MCT. And then I'm going to go from there, because I can always, the way that I talked about needing an MCP for if I need to carry in more stuff with me, I can always put a shoulder strap on that and do the same exact thing the few times that I might would want to do that. Or worst case scenario, I just make one more trip. My truck is never parked that far away typically. But I'm going to get the MCTP first. You think the Vessel electric screwdriver would be adequate to remove the sheet metal screws from HVAC units, or should I stick with the M12 Surge? So once you break stuff free, and so you can basically, let's see, I've got let's see, I thought I had my red one in here. What did I do with my red one? No, I'm curious what I did with that. Oh, right here. I don't know if I've got anything with the sheet metal screw in here with it in it. But basically, let me see what I got over here. I might have something. So let's see. I've got a 5/16 self tapper down inside of here. It's always on the delay for me. I'm assuming y'all can see that. I'll look here for a second. Yeah, you can see it. So maybe if I go right in there right now and I hit reverse on this, it's probably going to torque out. Yeah, so it's not going to do it. But I can just twist it, break it free with this. And then once I got it loose, just one turn, then it's going to take it right out. So that's the same thing you'd have to do if, a lot of times on those HVAC units, though, they're pretty loose to begin with because somebody's already stripped them out or done whatever. So that's the case with pretty much anything I've used this Vessel screwdriver on. Like, you can pretty much even put that back in. It's going to torque out once it gets kind of tight, and that might not be as tight as I want it. So then you just got to finish it off by hand, like a half a turn even. I mean, it's all it is a half a turn away from being super tight. So that's what you end up having to do with this screwdriver. A lot of times, just depends on how tight something is, but it just usually takes like a half a turn, and then you can start using the electric screwdriver part of it. So it would work for sure on HVAC stuff. I can't imagine. I've used it on that kind of stuff and had no problem, but you're not going to be able to usually do it from, you're always going to have to finish it by hand and usually start it by hand for the most part. Anybody seen the little keychain size Vessel bit holders? Yeah, Roy, I've seen them. They've even got some red Vessel Galaxy ones, but I've not been able to get a hold of them. I wanted to get some of those because you can actually even use them as a little screwdriver if you want to. Annex ratcheting screwdriver can be used like that. Has a deeper seat. They also make a stubby. Works on sheet metal screws. I don't think the Grabo fits in anything 5 inches or below. It should. I have it hanging on one of my Amazon tool holders. Just picked up the 2-drawer and love it so far. Yeah, I like Milwaukee's drawers the way they work. I hate the locking mechanism on it because that gets old doing that a bunch of times. I wish that the drawers kind of just latched in somehow or other. But even then, you'd probably still, if you were driving around in your vehicle, would want something like what Milwaukee has on there just to make sure they don't sling open. But I wish whenever I got somewhere, or even just normal driving conditions, you could just, like the DeWalt ones work the best to me. Again, that's the only other one I've looked at. I'm sure some other ones do it, where you just pull a lever and the drawer opens and closes. That would be so much nicer. Just got the Packout bar from Etsy today. Holy cow, it was hard getting the bars out of the top of the box. Yeah, sometimes those are a pain. Like the first time I did it, it didn't seem like it was a big deal. But yeah, getting that pry open and not tearing it up is sometimes pretty hard. Keep the M12 to remove sheet metal screws. I have the Vessel and I like it. Actually, I have a few, but the M12 is far better for tasks like that. Got a chance to use the DeWalt drill tap bits on a job this week. They worked well on the impact. That's what I was using it for. Yeah, the tapping, self-tapping drill bits. I haven't used a tap and die set like forever, which, obviously those self-tapping drill bits aren't going to be the die part, if you need to go and do threads or something like that. But as far as making a hole with threads, they work phenomenal. I use them all the time. That's pretty much what I use all the time now, because I don't ever run into needing to put threads on a bolt or redo a bolt or anything like that. I'm always doing the whole part of it, and they work great. That's the dad thing. You can't ignore bad advice and you correct them. I'm way behind. Y'all didn't tell me I was in a comment hole. I correct them in front of the customers at Lowe's. I usually don't say anything in front of the employee, but like whenever the employee walks off, I'm like, that ain't what you need. You need this. McDonald's coffee is really good, in my opinion. Parsons Project. I take my mug into the gas station. They charge me less. I might need to try that, because which Speedway, I always get my coffee for free because that's what I use all my gas points on from there. So I just get free coffees all the time. But y'all fancy. I drink Walmart French roast daily. I do fancy on days off. Yeah, I'm usually just a folders person, which, like I said, that chock, I think it's chock full of nuts, which it's not like a. I was worried about it because I don't like all those coffees that have like flavors of this and that in it type stuff either. I'm just a normal coffee person. But that was apparently, it was a store in New York that sold like peanuts and nuts and stuff like that. And then they started selling coffee, and the name of their store was chock full of nuts, but it was because that's what they sold was nuts. And then they just started selling coffee and everybody liked it. So then they started packaging their coffee and they just kept that name on there. So it's not like it's a nut flavored coffee or anything like that. It's just coffee, but it's actually super cheap. Like, it's pretty cheap and it's pretty good. Chris likes Starbucks. Panera sip club right now. I don't know if I probably have drunk coffee at Panera because I've went in there before to get bagels for people, for like a big group of people. And I probably, anytime I go do that, I usually, like, even if I go to a donut place to get donuts for a bunch of people, I'm normally, if I walk in somewhere and they've got coffee, I typically buy a cup of it. I'm trying to get caught up real fast, because I might have to get off here before too long. About 10 minutes behind, Matt said. Yeah, I just now realized that. Like, I didn't realize it, that my thing was not scrolling anymore. It was only scrolling if I scrolled it. So I had been thinking I was caught up the whole time. I need an electric vessel for every Vito I have now. Yeah. Have the 3-drawer Packout in my service truck. I've never used that to keep the drawers shut, and I've never had them open. Yeah, I'll have mine slide, some of mine, because I always try to remember to put mine back up as soon as I'm done with it. But sometimes if I'm working somewhere and I know I'm going to make a couple trips out to get weird stuff, and I'll forget to close it back up before I leave, and I'll hear them kind of opening and closing a little bit behind me. Pete's Coffee. I like getting a special color. They keep getting more limited edition vessel USBs. The DeWalt system has the best latching system for sure. Yeah, I like their drawers aren't very big, but I even thought about in my truck back when, if it was going to be all drawers and I was never going to tie other Packout stuff into it, I probably might would have swapped out to DeWalt drawers in the back seat of my truck just because of the latching stuff, and just use those as drawers in my truck and not integrated other stuff in with them. But got some holler roast from Nicole in Middle Tennessee. Yeah, I'm starting to try more because, like I said, used to I just only had Keurigs with the K cups, just because, again, it's just easier when you wake up in the morning and you're only making 1 cup. I'm just going to stick this thing in there and hit a button, not make a whole pot or make whatever. But now that I'm doing grounds, I'm trying more stuff because there wasn't a lot of options. I always just bought whatever, I bought whatever store I bought coffee at. So if it was Kroger, I bought Kroger brand coffee. If it was Meyer, I bought whatever the Meyer brand was of their roast and in the cups, and that's what I drunk. But Plumman said, my wife doesn't understand the doubles for each bag yet. We will bring her around eventually. He drives the Coyote. You can spin those tires. Yeah. What do you use? What do you use your MCT and SBLD for? And will you retire the MCT if you get the MCTP? I'll probably end up selling my Blackout MC unless for some reason I get it and I think, oh, it's too wide with those pouches. But ever since I've had this Blackout MCT, like I said, if I was to tell somebody one bag, if I could only carry one, what would I carry? It'd be that. But I've always thought to myself, that's why I bought the MB5B last year. I've looked at the TPXXL and I've always thought, man, I wish that they'd put some pouches on the side of this like that. And I even watched a video of somebody who either took their Tech MC or a MCT and made their own that way, kind of with some kind of things. So I've been wanting a bag like that anyway. So as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm getting that. But for all I know, I'm going to get it because, again, I really love the size of the MCT, and it may end up being too wide or something like that. But I can't imagine that it will be. So I'll probably end up maybe getting rid of that one if the MCTP is one of the things that if I feel like I like it. And then if I get rid of that, that's when I might end up going ahead and buying an MCP also, just so I've got a backpack option. Bought the clear purple vessel. It's beautiful. I grind and cold brew Pete's French roast. A couple of you just said the Pete's. Max. Bulletproof, the High Achiever is a really good coffee. Gets you woke up and going. I know that video you're talking about. Yeah, I think that might have been a Tech Pack MC or Tech MC that the guy put the pouches on the side. Like he took I don't know what the pouches were from. It was like meter pouches or something rather, and he attached them somehow or other on the side, and so he already kind of made what Vito's got out now. What are your thoughts on the MB4B? Just bought one. Love backpacks. I've never had it. I don't even think I've ever even seen one in person. So I don't know. I'm going to check the battery on my phone because I don't want it to die on me to where I can't turn it off. Actually, I don't know that I can even check the battery on my phone without closing that out. Fluke ones. So yeah, Fluke meter pouch things. That's what he put on the side. I think it was a Tech MC. SC45 is better than some ghetto pouch. Well, I may go ahead and get off here a little bit early since I started a little bit early. And because I got to get some stuff loaded in my truck, and it doesn't sound like it's raining at all right now. And I'd rather, because I think it's going to be raining in the morning, so I'd rather get it in there. I got to get a dolly, a moving cart, and then my drill bits and all that kind of stuff. Have it with me. Let's try to get that in there before the rain. I'll probably put out a video tomorrow, a review, but that review's also got some work I did in it. It probably won't be a thing. It won't be a tool that will be a big interest to probably a lot of you. Some of you probably so, but it's got some stuff in there that's pretty interesting stuff though. If you don't care about the tool, you ought to at least go watch the working part of it at the end, because it was pretty interesting what I ended up finding. And then I did so even if it does rain all day tomorrow and Saturday and stuff, I did get the Guest of Trade filmed yesterday. I ran out here yesterday real fast before it started raining. Luckily, I got it in before then, so that way I've got it ready to upload. I'm gonna see if I can get it uploaded tonight, but it should be available for Saturday. So we'll do that for sure on Saturday. Won't be able to get any video this year. If Vessel came out with screwdrivers as fast as Klein, I'd be broke. I'm crazy about Vessel. I love them. I love the ball handle. It's great. Yeah, I very rarely grab another screwdriver. I mean, I use my Klein 11-in-1 still quite a bit, just because that's the screwdriver. If I'm just going to grab one screwdriver out of my tool bag and walk in somewhere with it, do it Ted Cook style, that's what I grabbed, just because there's more options with it. But yeah, as far as in a pouch, it's been 100% Vessel for me. Appreciate that, Maru. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, get my truck loaded up for tomorrow, and it's really for tomorrow and the next few days anyways, and then get inside and spend some time with Miss Maintenance, I guess. Appreciate that, Todd. Hopefully I think we just got, I don't know if they said any more severe storms are coming. I'm not a big news watcher and a weather watcher, because there's nothing I can do about any of it, but I know we're supposed to get rain still all weekend, but I don't know if we got any more stuff coming through like what came through last night type thing. But hopefully everybody stayed safe. Appreciate that. You're welcome, TPGs. We'll see you some way. I got to go in here and check out all y'all's links that you sent me and go buy some stuff probably. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Time for the walk of shame. See you, Woodchuck.